If in the beginning there was nothing, and then God created the earth and the skies, and that's essentially what the Bible is trying to say. They're just doing it in a way.
And the Bible got it right.
In a world full of myths and old prophecies, one ancient manuscript stands out. This over 2,000-year-old Bible was hidden away until recently. Now, after being uncovered and studied by modern experts, it's revealing jaw-dropping secrets that shake the usual beliefs. With special insights from scholars and discussions on the Joe Rogan Experience,
it's really what it is the history of the book. Now, in many ways, the first book was the Bible.
This manuscript has uncovered shocking truths that go beyond the wildest expectations. What ancient truths lie within these forgotten pages? And how might these newfound insights reshape our view of history and the human race? Join us as we unravel the 2,000-year-old Bible that revealed terrifying knowledge about the human race. Lost Secrets of the Book of Enoch. In 1773, the ancient Book of Enoch was discovered in Abyssinia, now known as Ethiopia. This book, called the Ethiopic Book of Enoch, is a pseudepigraphical work. Pseudepigrapha refers to writings where the author pretends to be someone else, often to give the text more authority. In simpler terms, it's a forgery because the real author used someone else's name to make the work seem more credible. The Book of Enoch is attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah, and is considered a part of the Apocrypha in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Joe Rogan, a famous media personality and host of the popular podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, believes the Book of Enoch contains essential truths that have been suppressed by political agendas and power struggles among people. Rogan's interest in the book is part of a broader fascination with ancient texts and hidden knowledge. He has invited many scientists, historians, and theologians to his podcast to discuss its significance, including its controversial narratives about angels, the Nephilim, and the cosmic order.
Came of age, he wanted to meet his father, and his mother blessed this journey.
The books of Enoch are part of a larger collection known as the pseudepigrapha, a term used for ancient texts falsely attributed to prominent biblical figures. This intriguing collection includes writings such as The Life of Adam and Eve, The Treatise of Shem, and The Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Each of these texts offers a unique perspective on biblical stories and figures, reflecting diverse interpretations and traditions. The Book of Enoch, in particular, is a fascinating piece of literature. It is one of the most significant works within this collection because it provides evidence that during the Second Temple period in Palestine, Judaism was not a monolithic tradition. Instead, there were various forms of Judaism, each with its own beliefs and practices. Additionally, early forms of Christian thought, known as apocalyptic Christianity, began to emerge during this time. The Book of Enoch is an ancient text that dates back long before the birth of Jesus. It contains elaborate visions and prophecies attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah, who, according to tradition, was taken up to heaven without dying. This book is considered part of the Old Testament Apocrypha and was highly influential in early Jewish and Christian thought. Interestingly, the original manuscript of the Book of Enoch disappeared by the end of the 4th century. Despite this loss, the book has survived through various translations. Fragments of it have been found in Greek, Latin, and Syriac. The most exciting discovery came with the Dead Sea Scrolls, where Aramaic fragments of the Book of Enoch were uncovered in the mid-20th century. The Revelation of Devil's Origins. The Book of Enoch is traditionally said to have been written by Enoch, the son of Jared. However, this book was composed long after Enoch's time, so it doesn't perfectly match up with his life. This brings us to James Bruce, a man famously associated with discovering the devil. James Bruce, a celebrated Scottish explorer and scholar, embarked on a journey to find a book that he hoped would reveal secrets of ancient rituals. Instead, he returned with something even more extraordinary, an ancient Ethiopian manuscript that detailed the origins of the devil himself. The Book of Enoch, rejected by early church leaders and surviving only in fragments in the ancient Ethiopian language of Ge'ez, tells a story that the powers of the time did not want to acknowledge. This mysterious text, steeped in hidden Jewish teachings, suggests that the devil, who was often feared and despised, might have once been a friend and teacher to humanity. During a period when Britain was deeply engaged in long-term conflicts with Spain, Bruce traveled far and wide, immersing himself in the local cultures and artifacts he encountered. He even served as the British consul in Algiers for a while, dedicating several years to studying ancient relics and ruins. It seems that Bruce might have first discovered the importance of the missing Book of Enoch around this time. After completing his mission in Algiers, he decided to embark on a quest to find the Blue Nile, believed to be the original Nile mentioned in ancient texts. However, Bruce's journey wasn't solely driven by scientific curiosity. He also had a more mystical goal, tied to the traditions of Western Christianity and the legends surrounding its key adversary. As he traveled through historic cities like Alexandria, Thebes, and Cairo, Bruce eventually reached the ancient Ethiopian capital of Gondar in 1770. From there, he ventured into Abyssinia, not just to locate the Blue Nile, but also to uncover the elusive Book of Enoch.
Its version of the Old Testament includes a controversial text known as the Book of Enoch.
Bruce was a member of the Canongate Kilwinning Lodge, a Masonic group. His deep dive into the ancient Ethiopian language, Ge'ez, and his travels to a region known for its resistance to outsiders, raise questions about his true motives. Some Freemasons linked Enoch with the Egyptian deity Thoth, believing him to be the inventor of written language.
We can find ancient texts that speak of people ascending to heaven and then coming back down.
Bruce's pursuit of the Book of Enoch might have been fueled by his belief that this ancient text held secrets that Masons considered their rightful inheritance. Finding Enoch's writings would confirm their own beliefs and traditions.
The Book of Enoch, a very, very interesting, very ancient document.
Instead, Bruce faced an idea far more baffling than he expected. People usually blame the devil for everything bad in the world, using him as a convenient scapegoat for the age-old question of why God allows evil to exist. However, the Book of Enoch presents a radically different view. It suggests that the original story didn't have an antagonist other than God himself. Given this perspective, it's no wonder the Book of Enoch didn't make it into the official Christian Bible and remained unpublished during Bruce's era. The book implies that true wisdom came from those whom the Hebrew God tried to wipe out during the flood. Revealing such a narrative would have suggested that cultural and creative development stemmed not from Christ and the church, but from Azazel and the rebellious angels. This idea was highly controversial and unacceptable in both religious and social circles at the time. It would have stirred significant unrest, a kind of turmoil that authorities were eager to avoid. As a result, despite its rich and vivid storytelling, the Book of Enoch remains a minor note in the annals of history about Bruce, the remarkable Scottish adventurer. Secrets of the Dead Sea Scrolls. In 1946 to 1947, a fascinating discovery was made in a Judean cave by some Bedouin boys tending their sheep nearby. One of the boys, curious and adventurous, tossed a rock into a cliff opening and was startled by the sound of something shattering. Intrigued, he and his friends ventured into the cave, where they stumbled upon several large clay jars.
Came back the next day, climbed into the cave, and what did they find? They found huge clay jars.
To their amazement, 7 of these jars contained ancient leather and papyrus scrolls. This cave is situated near the old settlement of Qumran, which is on the northwest shore of the Dead Sea, in what is now known as the West Bank. The scrolls were eventually purchased by antiquity dealers and scholars who discovered that they were over 2,000 years old. Among the finds were numerous fragments of other scrolls as well. The Book of Enoch, one of the texts found, has stirred debate among scholars and religious authorities.
The Book of Enoch is one of the first abduction accounts written down by a fellow human being.
Some scholars have dismissed it, arguing that its revelations were not divinely inspired. Historically, the Book of Enoch was excluded from the Bible because it presented controversial ideas about the creation of the world. The text includes accounts of fallen angels, giant beings, unusual cosmic events, and other mystical insights that have yet to be fully validated by modern Bible scholars. Interestingly, the stories within the Book of Enoch bear striking similarities to elements of Babylonian mythology, suggesting a rich variety of ancient beliefs and traditions. This book, traditionally attributed to Enoch, is widely recognized as a collection of works that generally avoid political themes. However, Joe Rogan challenges this view. He argues that while the book includes Babylonian myths, these same myths offer insights into many of the world's scientific mysteries. He questions why the book, which has also been praised by Christians, is dismissed as a fallacy. Enoch, the figure associated with the authorship of the book, frequently appears as a central character. In the narrative, he often takes on the role of a prophesied savior, long before the time of Jesus. Some believe he was taken to heaven by God to learn about the secrets of the end times, while others view him as a character from what could be seen as ancient fan fiction. The story of Enoch is set between the Garden of Eden and the Great Flood, events described in the book of Genesis. In the traditional Bible, Enoch is listed as the 7th of the 10 patriarchs who lived before the flood. Despite the book's early setting in biblical history, it opens with Enoch's vividly ominous portrayal of the end of the world, describing Earth being torn apart and a final judgment for those who have sinned. In this tale, people encounter some truly mysterious beings known as the Watchers. Initially, these 200 angels were tasked with monitoring human history. However, their mission took a dramatic turn when they developed a desire for human women. They descended to Earth and took these women as wives, and the story quickly picks up speed, almost resembling a prologue from The Lord of the Rings. The offspring of these unions were giants of immense size and strength. These giants rampaged across the land, consuming everything in their path. When food became scarce, they turned to eating humans. As children, we often wondered about the origins of Goliath and other giants depicted in the Bible as villains. It seems a twisted blend of angels and humans might be a fitting explanation. As these giants wreaked havoc, the Watchers taught their wives magic, spells, and the secrets of herbs, continuing a tradition of portraying women as deceptive, which began with the stories of Eve and Lilith. Meanwhile, the Watchers also shared their knowledge of metalworking with humans, leading to the creation of weapons and armor. This new technology sparked conflict among people, who soon began warring with each other. Realizing the chaos they had caused, the Watchers began to blame one another and reported their actions to God. They decided to lay the blame on one of their own named Azazel, who was often depicted with goat-like features. During all the chaos caused by warring humans, rampaging giants, and scheming women, God decided it was time for a fresh start. There's a saying, if at first you don't succeed, try again. But it seems God took it to a whole new level by planning to wipe out everyone. Noah is warned by God about an impending flood and starts building a massive ark to save himself, his family, and the animals. The story then takes a dramatic turn when Enoch suddenly appears in heaven with little warning. God immediately tasked him with delivering judgment to the Watchers, fallen angels who would be condemned to eternity as demons. Additionally, God appears to establish a sort of waiting room, or purgatory, where souls are gathered until the final judgment. For a considerable stretch of the narrative, Enoch is given incredible visions of the end times. In a dramatic turn of events, God and Enoch start calling out individuals by name, warning them they will receive no mercy. Enoch is given divine power and transformed into Metatron, the leader of the archangels. The Book of Enoch is a treasure trove of fascinating stories. It covers various topics, including angels, a unique tree, Jerusalem, and the cosmos. However, the most gripping part involves the fallen angels. These angels had intimate relationships with human women, resulting in giant offspring known as the Nephilim. These giants were not only physically enormous, but also taught humans advanced knowledge, which ultimately led to a catastrophic flood and widespread destruction. The term Nephilim translates to fallen ones. They are often imagined as colossal beings, much like giants. This concept comes from the first book of Enoch, a significant text in Jewish tradition. However, there's some debate about their nature. Some believe their giant size is due to their supernatural origins, while others argue that it's implausible for angels or demons to have children with humans. Another perspective suggests that the Nephilim were simply humans who strayed from a righteous path. Some believe they were the descendants of Seth, a righteous figure from Adam's lineage, who chose to turn away from God, the Watchers' rebellion. The Book of Enoch is a fascinating collection of ancient texts divided into 5 distinct sections: the Book of Watchers, the Book of Parables, the Astronomical Book, the Dream Vision, and the Epistles of Enoch. Altogether, it contains a total of 100 chapters. One of the most interesting parts of the Book of Enoch is the Book of Watchers. This section introduces us to a group of celestial beings known as the Watchers. These beings are described as both sons of God and sons of heaven in chapter 7. The Watchers, also referred to as the Grigori in Enoch 2, were believed to be angels assigned to observe humanity.
The Watchers to be a class of angels, since angels were understood to be messengers in the Bible.
Their role was to guide the early humans and monitor their development. However, they were forbidden from directly interfering with human affairs, no matter how much they might have wanted to. According to chapter 7, as humanity grew and multiplied, the daughters of men became exceptionally beautiful and graceful. Their extraordinary allure caught the attention of the Watchers. In a moment of decision, the Watchers chose to take some of these women as their own.
The story is begun that the Watchers descended upon Earth and took wives from Earth women, from human women,
leading to a significant event where they fathered children with them. This situation goes against the original plan of merely observing, as it directly disrupts human life. The leader of these angels, named Samjaza, tries to convince the other angels to rethink their decision, warning that he alone would bear the punishment for their rebellion against God. Yet, the other angels persist, insisting that they all face the consequences together and share the responsibility for their actions. There were 200 angels in total, and they descended to earth with the intent of marrying human women. According to the book of Enoch, these angels were called Watchers, and they were known to teach women magic, spells, and the use of various plants for mystical purposes. By sharing forbidden knowledge about the heavens and life itself, knowledge that was meant to be kept secret from humanity, the Watchers not only betrayed God by mingling with his creations, but also corrupted them with insights that were never meant to be revealed. The result of these unions was the birth of offspring known as the Nephilim, who were hybrids of angels and humans. The Nephilim are a mysterious and debated topic, but we can get some clues from Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 to 4. This passage tells us that the Nephilim were present on earth both in ancient times and afterward. It describes how the sons of God, who might be referred to as Watchers, came down and had children with human women. The Nephilim are portrayed as both mighty heroes of old and famous men. Interestingly, some people, including Joe Rogan, suggest that these sons of God might be the aliens we talk about today. In the book of Enoch, these children, born from the union of Watchers and human women, are described as giants. These giants didn't just live peacefully, they began to devour everything humans had created. Eventually, they turned on each other in violent conflicts. Amidst this chaos, Azazel, who is believed to be one of the Watchers, comes into the story. According to chapter 8 of Enoch, Azazel teaches humans how to use swords and knives and engage in warfare. He also reveals secrets of the heavens, spells, and sorcery to mankind. Additionally, Azazel introduces humans to the use of paint, stones, and dyes, enabling them to alter and manipulate the world around them. In chapter 8, we learn that Azazel's actions led to a rise in wickedness on earth. His teachings caused a dramatic increase in immoral behavior, such as fornication, and these sins tainted humanity in numerous ways. The chapter also reveals that other angels, known as the Watchers, introduced humanity to astrology, science, and astronomy. Their influence was so corrupting that it led to widespread destruction among people, and their suffering reached the heavens. In chapter 9, the archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel look down from heaven and see the chaos unfolding on earth. Disturbed by the corruption, they go before God and place much of the blame on Azazel. They accuse him of teaching every form of wrongdoing on earth and revealing all the celestial secrets to humanity. They also criticize Samjaza for teaching sorcery and for his actions with the women, which led to the birth of monstrous giants. The archangels plead with God to guide them on how to restore balance and purity to the earth. In chapter 10, God sends the angel Uriel on a crucial mission to find Noah, the son of Lamech. Uriel is tasked with delivering a dire message. A great flood is coming that will wipe out all life on earth, destroying everything that exists. Uriel is instructed to reveal to Noah how he can escape this impending catastrophe and to inform him that it will be his descendants who will continue to inhabit the world. Additionally, God orders the archangel Raphael to capture Azazel. Raphael is to bind Azazel's hands and feet and then cast him into a dark abyss. This abyss is located in the desert region of Dudael, which lies deep in the underworld. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. In a remote, dusty corner of the Vatican's secret archives, a discovery was made that sent shivers down the spines of the world's most learned scholars. Hidden behind layers of forgotten scrolls and ancient texts lay a 2,000-year-old Bible, bound in weathered leather and inscribed with cryptic symbols. Father Antonio, an inquisitive historian, stumbled upon the relic while searching for historical documents on early Christian martyrs. As he carefully opened the fragile book, a strange, chilling sensation swept over him. The pages, though aged, were remarkably intact, and they revealed something extraordinary: prophecies and warnings about the human race that defied explanation. The text spoke of cataclysmic events, describing them in eerie detail. It foretold a time when mankind's insatiable hunger for power and technology would bring about a series of global disasters. It predicted plagues, environmental destruction, and societal collapse, all of which seemed eerily familiar in the context of modern times. But the most terrifying revelation lay in the final chapters. The ancient script hinted at the existence of a hidden force, a mysterious entity that had been manipulating humanity since the dawn of civilization. This entity thrived on chaos and conflict, feeding off the darkest emotions and fears of humans. According to the Bible, this force would one day reveal itself, plunging the world into an age of darkness unless mankind united to overcome its inner demons. News of the discovery leaked, spreading like wildfire across the globe. Panic ensued as people grappled with the chilling implications of the ancient text. Skeptics dismissed it as mere fiction, while believers saw it as a divine warning. The world stood at a crossroads, with the future of humanity hanging in the balance. Could this ancient text hold the key to our origins and ultimate fate? And if the creators do return, will humanity be ready to face their judgment? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. The Book of Parables. The Book of Parables stands out because no pieces of it have been found among the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Beta Israel community, who have long used the books of Enoch, likely carried the Book of Parables with them as they migrated from Egypt to Cush and eventually to the Ethiopian highlands. This suggests that the Book of Parables was part of their collection before 200 BC. Their main holy book, the Orit, is based on an early Greek version of the Septuagint that was in use around 225 to 200 BC, which originally contained only 8 books. After 200 BC, additional books were translated by the Library of Alexandria. Thus, if they left Egypt after this period, they would have had access to a larger collection of holy texts. The origins of the Book of Parables are still debated. Many scholars dismiss its significance to the Beta Israel community and instead argue that it was a Christian-era text, written sometime between 50 and 200 AD. This assumption, despite the book not being a Christian text, is based on evidence that was shaped by translators who, believing it to be a Christian-era work, interpreted it through a Christian lens. One clear example is the term Son of Man, which appears frequently in the Book of Parables and is often linked to Jesus Christ. However, a closer look at the text reveals that it isn't about Jesus at all. Instead, it seems to be referring to the flood of Noah rather than the coming of the Messiah, which is a common theme in many Messianic Jewish writings. The Son of Man mentioned in this book is likely Seth, who is considered the ancestor of all humans who survived the flood. The Hebrew phrase Ben Adam, meaning Son of Man, can also be translated as Son of Adam, which fits with the introduction of Seth as the heir of Adam. In chapter 37, after a brief overview of genealogy, Enoch is presented with 3 parables. Unlike the parables told by Jesus, these are more like oracles or prophetic messages. Chapters 38 to 44 discuss judgment, chapters 45 to 57 address those who reject the Lord, and chapters 58 to 59 focus on the destiny of the chosen ones. The final 2 chapters provide a conclusion and add some legendary elements to Enoch's story. The first parable deals with the theme of impending judgment, contrasting the fate of the righteous and the wicked. Chapter 38 opens with a vision of the world where the community of the righteous is about to gather, while the sinners face their final judgment. The righteous one will come forth to lead this great judgment. For those who rejected the Lord's name, their fate will be far worse than never having been born at all. This is a fate described in Mark chapter 14, verse 21, where it is said to be better for someone who betrays Jesus. This concept also appears in later writings in Ezra, describing the torment of those condemned to Hades. During this judgment, the hidden truths of the righteous one will be unveiled, and the rulers of the earth will be doomed. In chapter 39, Enoch receives several important books, those of zeal, wrath, haste, and whirlwind. Verses 3 to 8 detail Enoch's incredible experience of being lifted in a whirlwind from the earth to the heavens. There, he witnesses the heavenly homes of the righteous, nestled among the angels. This sacred place, under the protection of the Lord of Spirits, is where the righteous will forever sing praises to God. In chapter 39, verse 6, Enoch has a profound vision of the elect one of righteousness and faith, who is likely the same as the righteous one mentioned in chapter 38, verse 3. Enoch responds to this vision with heartfelt praise. In chapter 40, Enoch witnesses a breathtaking sight, a vast multitude of angels, countless and beyond measure. Among these celestial beings, 4 special angels never rest. This scene mirrors the descriptions found in Revelation chapters 4 and 5, where 4 distinct figures are positioned around the Lord of Spirits, surrounded by an endless throng of divine entities. The 4 key angels Enoch sees are Michael, known for his compassion and patience; Raphael, who oversees healing and remedies; Gabriel, who wields immense power; and Phanuel, who looks after those whose hope is eternal life. In chapter 41, Enoch is revealed to the hidden mysteries of the heavens, including the breakdown of kingdoms and the weighing of human deeds. He views the cosmic storehouses and witnesses the sun and moon, which operate beyond anyone's control. Chapter 42 delves further into the mystery through a poetic portrayal of wisdom, searching for her place among humanity, but ultimately returning to the angels. The subsequent chapters explore other cosmic phenomena, such as lightning and the names of the stars in the heavens, Enoch's heavenly calendar, and the mysteries of ancient prophecies. Chapters 72 to 82 of the Book of Enoch, also called the Astronomical Book, delve deeply into the movements of celestial bodies. The purpose of this section is to determine the length of a year. In chapter 81, Enoch is instructed to read from the heavenly tablets and share this knowledge with his son, Methuselah. These tablets reportedly contain everything that will happen to all living beings on Earth, based on astrological predictions. In chapter 82, Enoch passes this information on to his son, revealing that the true astronomical year should be 364 days long. Enoch's calculations are considered accurate because they were given to him by the angel Uriel. This part of the Book of Enoch is quite mysterious and seems unrelated to the New Testament. Scholar John Collins notes that the purpose of this section is to prevent sin through calendar mistakes and to ensure proper worship based on an understanding of the heavenly order. The main focus is the length of the year, arguing for a 364-day calendar instead of a 360-day one. Though this topic may seem obscure and complex to modern readers, it was crucial in the 1st century to ensure proper worship practices. The calendar issue is crucial for New Testament and Dead Sea Scroll studies due to Passover's timing. If Passover is celebrated on the wrong date, does it count, or is it sinful? The Qumran community believed it was sinful to observe Passover on the wrong date and criticized the priestly aristocracy for using a 360-day calendar, while they followed a 364-day calendar. The popularity of the Book of Enoch at Qumran might be because it supports a 364-day calendar. The Book of Dreams and Visions retells history from the perspective of Israeli sheep, dealing with Egyptian wolves, Philistine dogs, Babylonian lions, and Persian eagles. The Astronomical Book, narrated by Methuselah, Enoch's son, continues in the dream visions but mainly dates to the early Persian era. The first 6 chapters seem linked to the Astronomical Book, including a vision of the sky collapsing and the earth flooding, resembling Noah's flood in the Astronomical Book, which describes a solid sky with water above it. The final chapters of the first Enoch contain fragments from other texts. Chapters 106 and 107 narrate Noah's birth, possibly from a lost Noah apocalypse. Noah is born with white skin, red hair, and glowing eyes, speaking to the Lord immediately. His father Lamech, disturbed by his appearance, seeks advice from Methuselah, who consults Enoch. Enoch predicts the flood as punishment for sin, names the boy Noah, and foretells he will be a remnant for Lamech. These predictions are confirmed by heavenly tablets. In a podcast with Joe Rogan, Katie Williams expressed frustration about the lack of black people in the Bible until discovering the Book of Enoch. Rogan theorized that early church leaders removed the book to marginalize black people, noting that the only non-black people in the Bible were the Romans. Noah being albino in the Book of Enoch is significant, as it suggests he was surrounded by black people. What are your thoughts about the terrifying secrets revealed in this 2,000-year-old Bible? Let us have your opinions in the comment below.